Hi there, Chris from Totally EV, and whom doing a dedicated audio review of the Skoda Kodiaq. If you want a detailed review of the vehicle itself, make sure you check it up on your pop-up banner or by following the links down in the description below. Now to kick things off, we have to talk about its audio configuration. And as standard across the entire trim range, at least at the time of filming and in the UK, you've got a 9-speaker setup. To be more specific, you've got a central speaker, which also doubles up as an eCall function. Then you have got mid-bass drivers that are found within each of the front doors and tweeters that are found within each of the A-pillars. And within each of the rear doors, you'll find a mid-range and a tweeter driver as well, therefore tallying up to 9 speakers. If, however, you go for the Convenience Plus package, which will set you back between £1,200 to £2,310, you will find the 725-watt 14-speaker Canton audio system. To be more specific over here, the central driver actually gets upgraded because it's separated from the eCall speaker. You then have got the same tweeters that are found within the A-pillars, but then within the front doors, you not only have a mid-bass driver, but you also have a mid-range driver. As for the rear, you have then got a mid-bass and a tweeter, and then you have also got surround tweeters that are found within each of the side of the luggage compartments within the boot. And then you have also got a subwoofer that is found within the under compartment of the boot as well. All of this does indeed tally up to 14 speakers and will be a notable upgrade over the stock configuration. Now for you to tinker around with the audio drivers, you want to navigate on the infotainment system and find the appropriate settings. And here on the stock setup, I have actually added a few notches in terms of the treble EQ. Of course, this is very subjective, but this is what I found in terms of giving you the best sort of sonic reproduction. Now for you to connect up to the infotainment system, you have got Bluetooth with the SBC and AAC codec supported. If, however, you want higher quality playback, you'll want to plug in your smartphone because Android Auto and Apple CarPlay are supported. In fact, here wireless support is also present, although that will give you a slightly degraded audio performance in comparison to actually plugging in your smartphone. Moving swiftly on, let's talk about cabin noise. And here the objective measurements that were recorded within the cabin will be on your screen. For those who are subscribed, you'll know that these figures are actually pretty good, specifically for a larger sized hybrid SUV. And subjectively, I can say that the overall rolling noise is kept down to a minimum, and there's not much wind that can be heard deflecting off the A-pillars. Now, it's worth considering over here that the Sportline trim has got acoustically treated side and rear windows, while in the SE trim, it's available as an additional £530. And this option was not actually fitted on this press vehicle, which is the SEL trim. So therefore, good testament to how good the insulating material is within the stock configuration, let alone if you do go for that upgraded option. Now with all that said and done, let's get on to an audio demo. I'll be placing the camera and microphone in a few separate positions within the cabin and playing back a track. It's from Priya J and it's titled Like Me. Now, I appreciate an audio demo over YouTube is not quite ideal, but I thought to provide it as it gives you a bit of a taster as to what to expect. Now, subjectively, as someone who's reviewed over 100 different in-car audio systems and 700 audio-related devices or more, I can say that the audio system that's comprised as standard in the Kodiaq actually does a pretty decent job. Now, let me break it down for you. First off, in terms of the sub-bass tones, they're unfortunately cut short, and indeed this is because you have not got a subwoofer. This is potentially one of the biggest upgrades that you'll find in the Canton audio system because that subwoofer that is found in the boot really does give you that much better low-end extension, and therefore if you're listening to very bass-oriented tracks, this will be certainly something that you might want to consider. Thankfully, however, the mid-bass in both the stock and the upgraded systems actually do a pretty decent job. Indeed, over here, you have got a good sort of engagement and that lively sort of nature, specifically at the front of the cabin. Now, the same, however, can't be said about the overall mid-range accuracy and the overall vocal clarity. Here, both male and female vocals are pushed back and recessed. And this is due to the fact that you've got a lackluster number of mid-range drivers that are found within the cabin. Yet again, over here, the Canton audio system will give you that notable upgrade in the mid-range, and therefore, again, it might be something that you might want to consider. The stock audio system is not too bad in the grand scheme of things, but one might expect a little bit more. Now, thankfully, however, the highs do extend pretty well, both at the front and rear of the cabin, and that is due to the fact that you've got those dedicated tweeters. Now, as for the overall soundstage, it's actually pretty decent. For a large-sized cabin and for a 9-speaker setup only, the stock setup actually does a pretty good job. You've got good sort of instrument separation and a good level of width and depth. Yet again over here, the Canton audio system does go a step further by incorporating more audio drivers and also those surround speakers that are found towards the boot. This will give you a little bit of that extra bit of dynamism. Now, ultimately, what I'm trying to say over here is the stock audio system that's found within the Kodiaq actually does a decent job across the sound frequency range, and as a result, it gets our approved audio award. If, however, you're a bit more of a serious audiophile, or indeed you've got a little bit of extra money to spare, you might want to go for that convenience package because it does bring in that Canton audio system that will actually excel across the sound frequency range and give you that notable upgrade that you might be looking for. Now, I'd be curious to know what you make of the audio system that's comprised within the Kodiaq and how you feel it compares with some of its key competitors. Let me know down in the comment section below. Now, of course, if you have enjoyed this detailed independent review and want to see more from myself and the channel, definitely do consider dropping a like, subscribing and hitting that bell notification, all of which would be greatly appreciated. As such, I've been Chris from Totally EV, and I'll hopefully see you next one. Take care of yourselves, and goodbye.